Welcome back, guys, to the Next in Arena. Hope you enjoyed 10 questions, 10 answers. The return with Suhyun helping us out there, interviewing Stats, who was just able to defeat Zest in a 2-1. But we're jumping into our fourth series of the night. It's going to be ByuL up against Dark.
Yep, ByuL historically has not been as good at ZVZ as Dark has. But we will see how this one plays out. Since we don't have a lot of time to talk about the maps, I'm going to just list them off for you guys. It's going to be Daybreak, Overgrowth, and New Kirk. So 3 1v1 maps, 3 2-player maps of different sizes here. The largest one will be the last one.
He's gone full ninja mode.
That means he's definitely going to do it for an early spawning pool. That's what ninjas do. Well, Dark, obviously the player who's known for his ZVZ much more than ByuL, playing the ZVZ finals against Solar in our most recent SSL finals in Season 3 of 2016. Actually fell to Solar, but showed a lot of different builds, a lot of different ways to play the game. This best of 3 could go either way. ZVZ is unpredictable, fast-paced, and usually over very quickly. The first game will set the pace in terms of momentum and economic builds.
Yep, let's jump into game number 1 right now. ByuL versus Dark in our ZVZ.
ByuL, 한지원. Dark, 황영우.
Fly Better Fly, Jin Air, and up here in the top right, already starting off with something a little bit sneaky. It's ByuL.
And his opponent to the bottom left in blue, it is Dark. His opponent, very uncharacteristic late Overlord scout from ByuL. Perhaps some hesitation as to whether he wanted to make that drone or not. He actually sent the Overlord fairly late. Not going to be the end of the world or anything like that, but then he goes straight into the fast pool with his first 12 drones and the gas. So 12 pool gas. So going to be speedling all in, with likely to be with Bailings for the follow-up, as Dark is going to go hatch first. So this is what I was talking about in terms of how the first game always sets the pace in terms of economic builds, because you know, when you see something like this, he's even going to spine the edge perhaps with this drone. Obviously not going to do it right now, but kind of in a moment.
Sneaking on in, and that's actually hatch into gas, into pool, so as late as it gets.
So this first game, you know, is going to be, for the future in this series, ByuL is going to have the advantage in terms of build orders. It's going to force Dark to second guess himself when he goes into Overgrowth if he wants to hatch first. You're going to see the Baneling nest coming up. 6 lings already spawned, 2 more on the way. He's going to have a second drone coming up, so he's going to try to double Spine Crawler here.
Super duper all in, and this will be scouted by Dark now. Let's see what the response is. Doesn't have that pool out just yet.
All right, drones still kind of hanging out in the main base. Second one coming over. First one is recovering a bit of hit points. He's continuing to scout right now. May just use it to help fight as well. So obviously he needs to have all the money he can get. Spine Core is pretty expensive. All right, let's see. Drones here at the front, 2 Banes on the ramp. Not going to spawn these into spines right now.
Yeah,
just having them at the front. Okay, here's 1 spine.
Sidling on in. He's hoping not to get surrounded. And there's the double spine. The drones come off, but there are the 2 Banelings.
The Bane's going to help make it so that no drones get around this. He gets us around on the lings. I think that's GG. The drones aren't even mining over there at the spawning pool.
He's saving all the Banelings too, which is just gigantic.
I think this is GG. 2 spines going to finish. He just runs the rest of the lings across.
Oh, even uses that Baneling there. Starts another one.
Just wants to keep his lings healthy. He's going to win the exchange here. Boom, there's the drone. Hits. Good positioning on the Queen. Once these spines finish, what could Dark really hope to accomplish? Spawning pool in range of the spine crawlers. He's going to have this natural spined up, but he won't be able to get his drones down there. He's going to be kind of caught here. As you see, this is now under harassment before that spine is ready. Drones fighting at the natural. This is super all-in, as you mentioned, but it feels like this is really starting to take off in success. Now escapes the spine there, just run back up to the main base. Slowlings, but a lot of banelings with the extra gas. The spawning pool going down here. He can't afford another one. He can't afford any more lings. He won't be able to make any more queens.
Yeah, and this is just gigantic. I mean, ByuL very, very far ahead. He's only unburrowing one spine at a time, mind you. He's keeping even some lings back because he knows lings are coming for the counterattack. And, I mean, Dark, he's only going to be mining from one base. Not even fully saturated.
There's only a few drones, 14, most of them in the main base trapped here, cannot escape. And they're not even mining because he can't. If he starts mining, he's just going to lose them.
Perfect
at the top of the ramp
from ByuL too. He's got the queens, the banes, and the lings just waiting for this.
Okay, he wants the queen to be potentially surrounded. He wants to bait that so the banes can get their hits. His banes, meanwhile, in the main base, transfuse on the drone. Not going to be enough with a double hit. The queen goes down. I think we should see Dark type out. Down to 7 drones now.
Yep, the Hats goes down, can't counterattack, barely mining from his natural 6 workers there. And now he's like trying to think, oh, do I pull? Do I somehow, you know, do this? He's going to try to unburrow his spine crawler, kind of a last-ditch effort here. Queen is going to get surrounded by the lings, and the spine crawlers of ByuL coming down to the bottom of the ramp.
You know what they say, Valdez, 2 spines are better than 1. And
well,
the drones can't even get the surround. Look at this positioning.
That's hilarious.
Can't even get the surround. First spine comes up. Second one doesn't even have to burrow. The ling defense in the main base is real.
That's good enough. And the other spine now should take this time to burrow.
I think that was actually him just microing in the main base. Definitely would have wanted to do that earlier. Doesn't matter though. Can't even make a single drone off of his larva.
And here comes the follow-up. 7 supply for Dark.
He's frustrated.
Yeah, you can't see it behind his ninja mask. GG. ByuL takes game number 1 very, very fast. 5-minute game. And kind of unexpected, you know? In the past, whenever we saw these two go head-to-head, which happened very often, as Dark was at a time the ace for SKT and ByuL was one of the aces for CJ, along with Hero. You know, ByuL would kind of just sit back, not try to be too cheesy, whereas Dark could get a little bit more aggressive or play very defensive. He was kind of one or the other. But ByuL switching it up here, game number 1, takes a quick one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before too, this is unfortunate for the follow-ups on these 2-player maps now, because what if ByuL does as greedy as it gets as an opening, and Dark does a safe opening now, then ByuL gets economically ahead. Dark still has to wonder, okay, what if he just cheeses me again? I lose this best of 3, I walk home with very little money from today. It's terrifying in a best of 3 series in ZVZ when you get countered so hard in game number 1.
Well, guys, we're going to be jumping into Overgrowth, as Wolf mentioned, for map number 2. We'll see if Dark can pull it back here. The powers of the ninja might bring him back into this one. Or we'll be able to close this one out in a quick 2-0. Let's jump into game number 2 right now to find out. Here in the top right, still not building anything from those larvae. It is ByuL. He wouldn't do it twice in a row, right?
That's the metagame that evolves in the best of 3. His opponent, Dark, will spawn to the bottom of the map in blue once more. Yeah, this is the mind games in ZVZ that will come at you. Drone Scout once more. You know what? The Drone Scout feels super suspicious. Let's see if Dark actually responds when he sees the drone scout. Because last time he just went super aggro in terms of eco, I should say. It was very aggressively going down that.
Here we go again.
Path. Okay, he's going to go hatch first, but when he sees the drone scout, that might tip him off into saying, all right, probably want to skip that extra drone here. Probably want to make the spawning pool immediately. No gas first. Sees the drone with his overlord.
Makes a drone.
Oh, man.
Makes a second drone.
No way.
Is he going to go gas now into pool, or is he just going to do it gasless?
It looks like it's going to be gasless because he hasn't started the extractor yet. And actually, ByuL has not started one either.
There he starts the extractor.
Oh, boy.
A bit late, actually.
Yeah.
Not right when he could have.
So ByuL is just going to take an expand behind this. But these first 8 lings are going to be a bit of an issue. There's the hatchery going back up at home, so this is not going to be all in like the previous set, but ByuL going to take kind of the half and half with this.
This is saying like, okay, I'm going to kill your hatchery, but I'm going to get mine up back at home, and there's not much you can do because I have full map control, more army units, and you're going to scramble to defend. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be mining from your main for longer with more drones, but I'll have the double hatch economy for longer because I can shut down your hatch. I would expect him to go straight for that, but let's see what he does.
Looks like he is going to harass the hatchery, stop mining while droning at home. The additional 4 lings will arrive fairly soon.
Let's finish. Maybe because he doesn't see those other 4 lings. I think they did pass underneath the Overlord, but
I think you have to let this finish and hope for a rock-solid defense. Interesting that ByuL's not going to surround the lings that are about to pop out here, because that could be 2 free kills. They should escape here from Dark.
He's just going all in on the hatchery, and I would expect him to back off after this.
Yep.
And as I was saying, I mean, everything's turning out the way ByuL had hoped for. He's going to have his hatchery way far ahead. 300 wasted minerals for Dark.
Yeah, and he didn't even go for like a drone pull or anything like that. He just was willing to concede the point, which is why he should have just canceled, you would argue, to get the money back. This is a lost fight. I don't even understand why the fight was taken here. It wasn't even like ByuL out-microed him. The drone died. There's no hatch. He wanted to do a ling follow-up attack with speed, but now he doesn't have any lings to do it with.
Yeah.
And he still can't take this hatchery.
Well, if you seem disappointed, throwing down the pen, just as Dark seems to be throwing in the towel.
I threw that pen down on the desk. I was frustrated.
Well, ByuL is massively ahead from this.
Absolutely.
You know, we can go over exactly what happened. You guys saw it in front of your face. Question is, how does Dark follow this up? Does he just try to play from behind or go all in? ByuL is going to be super safe. He's already starting a wall.
Yep.
He's got a Roach Warren on the way.
He's like, oh, okay, you're probably just going to ling follow-up attack. I killed all your lings, so I'm not too worried, but still, I guess I'm just going to play super safe. I like the moment when ByuL also checked for the gold base. He's like, wait, you just let that go? You just let the hatchery go? You didn't cancel it? What's going on? You got a gold base? Oh, you don't have that either? Okay. Scouts this too, mind you. Perhaps if he had microed a little bit faster, might have even been able to deny it. So he's going to have this big, huge lead in economic mining during this period of time, which is way more than the slight lead that Dark had because of the aggressive lings. Then he's going to be able to pop out with this massive drone count, a ton of roaches to go and smash Dark and end the game. That's the game plan here.
Dark has to walk a tightrope right now where he can't drone up his third base, really. He's just kind of got to saturate his natural and find out exactly the right amount of units to defend against the follow-up. You can see he's going to get +1 first, which is nice, and actually the Lair and the Roach Warren right away afterwards.
Roach Warren coming up.
Look at the drone counts right now. 34 to 23. 37 to 23.
He's not going to have enough. He needs a third base to get the full 37 efficiency of mining. Well, I suppose if he's got 4 extractors, he's going to be about there. Let's get the third one right now. Wall was not tight for just a moment there. It was almost like ByuL wanted to bait him in. Stacking up lings, getting the +1 armor. Not actually making roaches, interestingly. Perhaps wants to wait for more gas before doing so. Yeah, just going 20 lings here. And once he has his own speed, he's just going to run by.
Generally, you would see the roaches come out first, and then the follow-up lings speed, speedlings, I should say, as they are faster.
Yeah, they
just
reinforce
flood out of the base and hit at the same time as the roaches. But he wants to put on the pressure first and potentially do a bit of damage to that third base as he's going directly there.
Look at that. Dark just hits the larva injector and gets out with that queen. He knows exactly what's about to happen. He knows that ling speed is about to pop. Roach is being made back at home for ByuL. He just wants to deny this third base and get a good exchange on the lings as well. But Dark, with a better surround, ByuL will have to back off with the queens here to help defend. Once the queens are not able to fire, though, he pulls back. He's going to get the better exchange here off creep briefly, but Dark has made a lot of lings. Actually, the ling count right now, 26 to 18. Still a slight lead in workers for ByuL. Has that third hatchery coming up now. But the roaches, that's the tech advantage that he has. Both players going into the +1 attack. That's one thing that Dark has, but he doesn't have any roaches for it, so it won't be that significant yet. Now, this would be huge for Dark. He can turn this game around if he actually stops this hatch from going up.
Questionable fight he's taking here. Didn't expect that many roaches to follow up. but does back off with the majority of his lings. Also spots the third base with that Overlord from earlier on, and looks like we are going to transition into a bit of a more laid-back game unless ByuL wants to hit with a huge number of roaches with his upgrades that he's got.
Yeah, well, he has the +1 carapace. That's something that Dark is missing, and he will have 1/1 before the +2 finishes in a small window. It's hard for him to know that, but he has a massive roach lead. I just don't think that he's going to be able to attack in with it. With the long rush distance, he's going to have to go across the map without speed. Did Dark get speed already for his roaches? Is that finished?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I'm
Looks
pretty
like
sure
it,
he did, but
just
just want to confirm. Yeah, he has it. You can see them moving there. So the the game is actually going to stabilize quite a bit. Dark's going to have the more important +2 attack first, and actually catches this group of lings. That's nice.
Cool maneuver there by Dark. Catches all of those, and Carapace would have helped for the Roach Ling combination a little bit more because the Carapace works for both, but when you lose all of your lings, not really going to help out. So we're going to Roach versus Roach, and take a look at the Roach count right now. It's 27-20 in favor of ByuL, and he has like 4 more drones. He's had the better economy for a bit, does get the later third base, but is ahead for now, just slightly. And as you mentioned, Dark just really has the upgrade advantage at this point. I don't think he's really going to be able to abuse the +2 timing, though. He's going to be stuck on his side of the map until ByuL gets the +2 for his roaches.
This is one of the ZBZs that we see, and like I said, it actually goes the distance. I know we're only 8 minutes into the game, but it looks like we might see 4th bases here. It's not always how ZBZ goes, but it's still going to be very Roach versus Roach, which has been the way ZBZ has been since Wings of Liberty. And here's the push out here for Dark. He is going to try to hit this +2 window, and because he actually moved out before it's even done, it's going to time really well. ByuL is going to have to set up a defensive concave here. He saw this coming with his Overlord. He already has the Roaches here. Wants to try to take the fight before the entirety of the Roach army for Dark arrives. The Roach count is slightly in favor of ByuL. He has a defender's advantage here. ByuL's not really connecting, and oh, a move command! Oh my God! This could never happen. This is not supposed to happen. Pro gamers making mistakes like this. Oh my God! Oh my God! I feel like I just saw a car crash. Oh!
That's basically what you saw, the Roach crash.
Oh my God!
And that was the timing. That was the one window he had. Now Roach counts are double in favor of ByuL. He can easily push on and win this game, and a huge mistake by Dark. Will throw this one away. Had a nice little timing set up, but it's not going to come through.
This is so uncharacteristic of play at this level. This is going to just be the saddest loss Dark will ever take in his career. We'll never forget this game. Absolutely. GG.
ByuL with the 2-0.
Oh, man. Move command. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you're just watching StarCraft, you're not a player, if you don't queue attack and you use the right-click command instead of attacking and then clicking, your units will just move to that location without firing, ignoring anything that's in their path, which means they didn't attack all throughout that time where build a setback and did damage. And this was a shocking moment for all, as that was a solid defense, good transition from Dark, had this timing. It was going to be tough for ByuL to defend even with the defender's advantage, but when you just simply move and don't attack, walking through, they just were mowed down in some sort of almost looking like a pacifist's charge there.
ByuL with almost like a sideways glance and a smirk as he's like, I got away with that one. It was going to be a pretty even fight at the end of it. At the end of the day, if all of Roaches of Dark were fighting, it was something like 35 +2 Roaches versus 42 +1 Roaches that had defender's advantage. So that means more Roaches of ByuL would get to the fight sooner and reinforce. Also, the Queens could potentially get into the fight. So I think ByuL would still have held, but we could be still casting that game had Dark not move commanded in. He could have just maybe taken a decent trade and then backed off once the reinforcing Roaches came in, and then kind of just settled into more, 4th base, more tech, maybe lurkers, infestors, stuff like that. But we don't get to go there because of a big mistake by Dark, and ByuL takes the 2-0.
Yeah. Definitely a sad loss here, but it's not the end of the tournament or anything like that for Dark. But we are going to go into our final best of 3 after a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.